One of the number one reasons why women struggle with dating and relationships today is that they choose men who are not ready for anything real. Ladies, there are lots of great relationship-ready men out here. However, you need to learn how to choose them. I wrote this book to teach you how to do just that. Get your copy of Choose Well, a simple formula to determine the best man for you on Amazon today. Good evening. I'll adjust my camera here. All right. I'm going to see who logs on tonight. This is a very odd time for me to go live, but I'm actually driving to Charlottesville to pick up my daughter because she's in the middle of spring break. And depending on what this sun is doing, because the sun is like sort of setting, but if I'm going in the direction of it, I may put on my sunglasses. But anyway, so I wanted to jump on and tell you all that these pandemic relationships are ending. Okay, it's been what, 5 years? We're in 2025. The pandemic was in full force March of 2020. So March of 2020 is when the first lockdown happened. And then that lockdown, I'm going to have to, hold on, I'm going to see what happens with this sun. After that first lockdown, it got extended. And then, our whole world changed. And it's been 5 years. So I would say for the most part, we are back to normal. I would say as of last summer, last spring, last summer. So about 4 years. It took about 4 years to get us kind of back to normal. We are definitely back to normal now because a lot of people whose companies, sent them home to work, and that at home working, that went on for years and years. And now, a lot of those companies have called people back. They're like, yeah, we done with that. You got to come back in the office. We done with that. So we're in year 5 after the pandemic, and this is right about the time where, if you chose a person for all the wrong reasons, if you rushed into something, if you found yourself, and y'all didn't hear these stories until after the fact. I heard these stories in the middle of them happening. So my practice opened July of 2019. That's when my private practice opened. So by March 2020, here comes the pandemic. It's called itself shutting everything down. I was like, I ain't shutting down. I just opened my practice. I'm going to keep my doors open. I'm going to keep marketing my practice. I'm going to keep doing all the things to get clients in my practice. And so April, May, June. So March is when the first lockdown happened. So April, May, June, people are starting to feel away, right? People are starting to get scared. I'm going to put on my sunglasses because I don't know if we're going to be able to navigate this sun. But people are starting to feel away, right? They're starting to get scared. The government is, selling wolf tickets and making people think they're dying and all this craziness. We're in full swing madness by April, May, June, really by June. We in full swing madness. The government got people believing that they all gonna die. like it's real bad, right? And y'all are doing everything the government tells you to do. Everything. If they told y'all to stand in the corner and hop on one foot to keep yourself alive, that's what y'all would do. And then July, August, September, now they working on the vaccine, right? So, we got to get this vaccine. We got to rush this vaccine. We got to rush, and get this vaccine out here. So now they working on that, and they trying to sell y'all that vaccine. But y'all are doing exactly what they told y'all to do at this point, because you scared for your life. You seeing people drop like flies. and you scared for your life. So you're just doing whatever the government is telling you to do. But here's what's real wild. This is what's wild to me. So, you know, dating apps is a thing. It's already a thing. But now we can't go nowhere. We can't do nothing. So everybody's on the dating app because, you know, you scared, you bored out of your mind, you can't go nowhere. So it's like everybody's on the dating app now. And as scared as you are of losing your life to COVID, you on the dating app. And you are meeting up with people in the oddest of ways. You still, isn't that funny? You ain't that scared of dying. You still meeting strangers on the internet. So you meeting up with these people and you deciding to quarantine together. Well, you know what? We should just quarantine together, right? We'll just create a bubble and quarantine together. And you got these people in your house that you just met. You got people in your house that you just met quarantining together because you think the world is coming to an end. And so if the world is coming to an end, I'm going to get some. I'm going to get some. I'm going to get mine. If this world is going to come to an end, I'm going to get me some. So all these relationships, I call them pandemic relationships. All these pandemic relationships of people that either had just met each other. I had a friend who just met a guy that January, and by March, they was quarantining together. So 2 months in, y'all are living together. That's the type of madness y'all was on when the pandemic was happening. She said, really, last thing I was thinking about was doing no damn body during that pivotal time. Oh, no, baby, you alone. You and me are alone in that thinking. Okay? Because the truth is, people was getting it in. They was like, if the world is ending, I'm going to get me some. I'm going to find me a relationship. Okay? These people was getting it in. And look, people that wouldn't give people the time of day, all of a sudden, they in a relationship. Right? They in a relationship, they living together with somebody that in a normal circumstance, they wouldn't give the time of day. That's the truth. That's the truth. You need to know the truth. So now you in this pandemic relationship, right? And because you think you're going to die. You think the world is coming to an end. And y'all, I got people, okay, so I got people coming into my practice now that they had those pandemic relationships and they realized, you know what, this is not somebody I would have normally been with. This is not somebody I'm normally compatible with, or this is not somebody I really want to be with. And so here we are 5 years later, and they're like, yeah, this ain't a good look. This is not a good fit. But when I tell y'all these people were moving in within a month to 2 months, they was introducing their kids. They was moving in with their kids, putting their kids at risk for this pandemic relationship with this stranger they met online that they knew for 1 month, 2 months. But the chickens always come home to roost because right now, I'm seeing a lot of those people come in my practice last year and now this year. All of them have the same story. It's like Groundhog's Day. Well, we met in February of 2020 and we met in March of 2020. And then the pandemic happened, or we met in June of 2020 in the middle of the pandemic. Like, it's like Groundhog's Day. And all of them talk about how expedited the relationship was. And they always say it, well, I know that was fast. I know we moved fast. I know that wasn't a lot of time to move in with somebody. They all acknowledge how fast it was. But right around now, 2, 3, 4 years, 5 years. See, this is when you're going to wake up to, I don't really know this person. I don't really like this person like that. This person and I are not a good fit for one another. Now, a lot of those people are starting to wake up. Okay? I bet no background checks were being done either. Nope. They were moving strangers into their house. Hello from Houston. I'm over 65 and single. I've managed to steer clear of being in a committed pandemic relationship. I've been happily dating myself. Good for you. But I'm just letting y'all know, these pandemic relationships are ending. Because see, now we back to normal. Like, this is, in my mind, back to normal started last year. And this year it's officially back to normal. Because like I said, there's barely any masked people. There's, you know, we're going out. We're doing everything we was doing before and then some. So we're pretty much back to normal. They calling people back into the office. People have been working from home for 4 years. They're like, nope, we done with that. You need to show your behind up back to the office so we actually know you working. Okay. The weird thing I noticed was a lot of old geezers were trying to holler at me. Yeah, because they said, hey, the world is ending. The world is ending. I've got to get mine. This is my last shot at love. So they accepted a lot of people and a lot of stuff that they normally wouldn't. But guess what? These people done woke up. They realize the world is not coming to an end. And they are with this person they really don't want to be with. Okay? They really ain't feeling them like that. They really not trying to be with them like that. And so now they are, you know, they're forced to see what it really is. That, you know what? I really don't like this person like that. Or I think I can get better. I think, you know, I think I got more options than this. So, yeah, it's like that, y'all. But these relationships are blowing up left and right. And you had some people getting married. You had some people getting married in the pandemic. And now the marriage is on the rocks. Look, they've been married 1 year, 2 years, and the marriage is blowing up. Because like I said, y'all, I don't care what is going on out in the world. The principles will always be the principles from now until the end of time. When you do not use proper principles in which to vet people, in which to determine if you're a good fit for each other, when you don't abide by basic principles, it's not going to work. It's just not going to work. So yeah, they coming to terms with, golly, I picked this person and I've been living with them, but I ain't really feeling them like that. And now that I know we ain't dying, it ain't the end of the world, I'm going to go out here and get who I really want. But y'all, these people, the things that they were doing, how you going to meet a man online and within a month introduce him to your children? And then within 2 or 3 months move in with him? What sense does that make? It don't. It don't. And it's dangerous. It is beyond dangerous what people did during the pandemic. And yet, what's so, like I said, what's so ironic is y'all was scared of dying of COVID, but introducing a stranger to your family, introducing, a stranger into your living environment, like, what? I'll battle COVID before I bring a man I've known 1 month to live with me at my house. Okay? That don't make no sense. I will have COVID multiple times before I let a man I met online move into my house in 1 month. That don't make no sense. But I'm telling y'all, this is what people were doing. And now the chickens have come home to roost. They've realized that, you know what? Like, this was all a bad idea. I did this in haste. I moved fast with this person, thinking I was going to die. The world was coming to an end. Like, that's why you don't make decisions like that when you are under duress. But every day, it's a new couple coming in, telling their story, and I kid y'all not, it's like Groundhog's Day. We met on this app. We talked on the phone. We texted. We met in person. Then the pandemic happened. Like, it's the same story over and over. Or they'll say, we met during the pandemic on the app. And we met out. We met out in the park, or we met out somewhere, in a parking lot. And we just said, well, let's quarantine together. like that's a good idea. That's how we gonna get to know each other, by one of us moving in with the other one and just trying to force something. You trying to force a relationship, and that's what they're doing, trying to force a relationship with somebody, which in my mind, and let me tell you what would have happened. We would have FaceTimed, we would have Zoomed, we would have talked on the phone, and we would have did that for months. Months and months and months before I even met up. That's to me what a logical, rational person would have did. But instead, they did the opposite. Let's rush something. I barely know you. Let me move you into my house and get to know you while you live with me. Like, that don't make no sense. But I'm sharing this with you all so you can see how illogical and irrational human beings are. Like, when they're faced with something like the pandemic and COVID and all of that, what they think is them about to die, they make dumb decisions. They do dumb things. So please don't be one of these people. And honestly, all you had to do during that time, which is what I did, is look at the data. Look at the numbers. Look at the clinical research. Like, look at the information. Nobody was doing that. Y'all was letting the media tell you. You were getting your news from the media, and y'all know how they lie. And they were catastrophizing. That's what everybody was doing. Everybody was catastrophizing. And I was just like, really? Like, do y'all read data, right? Those of us that were healthy, that didn't have any pre-existing medical conditions, weren't going to die. We weren't going to die. We would maybe get sick a little, but we were not going to die. We were not falling over dead. People my age, people younger than me, people who are exercise, who eat right, who get good sleep. We were not going to die. That's what the data showed. And here's the thing about the pandemic. Oh boy, do I want to say this? Sometimes things pop in my head, and that sensor goes up like, you might have to make this members only content, Anita. Okay, I'm gonna say it because that's just the nature of who I am, but that's what we call natural selection, right? The pandemic is called natural selection. It took out the weakest among us. Okay? That's what nature will do. It's like they say, only the strong survive. But the pandemic took out a huge proportion of people who were already weak, sick, right? They were already, much older. People don't want to hear that. That's a harsh truth that a lot of people don't want to hear. But it's almost like a natural selection process where you have something like that, and it took out all the weak links. Took out the weakest link. Okay? That's what happened. And like I said, people gonna feel a way about that. This is not to make light. If you lost a family member, if you lost a friend, if you lost a grandparent, I'm not making light of that. But you have to understand that that is the way nature works. Okay? Things happen to reset, to recalibrate, to rebalance. That's called natural selection. Okay? So that's all. That's all you need to know. And now, here we are, back to normal. Everybody going back to work. Everybody walking outside. Everybody traveling again. Everybody moving around without masks. Here we are again. Okay, he said, my BIL is a pulmonologist. He told me you do not want to get it. You do not want to know what it does to your lungs. But we have all gotten it. So what do you mean? 98% of the world has had COVID. So that's debunked right there. Like, we've all gotten it. And most of us who are strong, who are healthy, who are doing all the right things with our body, you have to understand that the way God made us was so that we could heal ourselves. This packaging that we're in, it has the ability to heal itself. That's how perfect God's design was. He gave us things on the earth. He gave us things within our body to heal our body. We don't use it. We don't, and you are in the minority, Don_Satterwhite. You're in the minority. 98, go to the CDC, go to the website. You are in the minority. 98% of us have had it. Okay? You're in the minority. That's all. But the body heals itself, especially if it is strong, if it is well fed, if it sleeps the amount of hours it needs to sleep, if it exercises, if it moves around, if it gets sunlight, if it gets the nutrients it needs. Our bodies are self-contained systems, and it will repair itself. The right foods, precisely. Okay, when you say it, are you speaking of the shot or COVID? I'm talking about COVID. 98% of us have had COVID. And those percentage of you all that got the shot, y'all got COVID. So what is the point? They called it an immunization when it did not stop you from getting it. Isn't an immunization supposed to stop you from getting it? Because it didn't. That's not an immunization. It did not stop you from getting it. She said, I'm in the minority as well. I had something for one day, but my testing was inconclusive. Okay. But 98% of us have had it. Okay. And in one way or another, some of us, it didn't do nothing. Some of us, I know it gave me a scratchy throat. Okay. Gave me a scratchy throat. That was about it. My throat hurt for a couple of days. But outside of that, I'm good. So that's what you need to understand. She said, I'm fully vaccinated and boosted. Yeah, you're in the minority. That's beautiful. Like I said, that's a wonderful thing. But come on, we need to use facts. And the facts are a whole lot of people that got vaccinated and boosted got COVID. A whole lot of people. It is not an immunization. They sold it to you as that, but it is not. It does not prevent COVID. My brother and his wife, unfortunately, got the shot and wound up getting it. Yeah, most people who got the shot wound up getting it. It is intended to lessen the impact. And it's not an immunization. It's not a vaccination. Okay? That's why I hate when they call it that. A vaccine, no. It's not preventing anything. So I wasn't going to put something in my body that they had rushed through the FDA and all of that. No, thank you. I was going to take my chances with the infection, the virus. I was going to take my chances. I was not going to have anything crazy happen to my body because I willfully put something in my body. If I got it, whatever happened, happened. And it's like, oh, well. But I was not going to willfully put anything in my body and then my whole body go haywire. That's not going to happen. That was not going to happen. So, but yeah, again, I want y'all to make sense of what happened because technically COVID-19 is still out there. People are still getting it, just like the flu. But yet, we have no precautions in place. How do you explain that? The numbers have gone down. So the numbers have exponentially gone down of people dying from it. How do you explain that? Like I said, natural selection says that there will be things that will come and they will recalibrate. They will rebalance the population. And those who are weak, those who are old or infirmed, they will be taken out. And the strong will live through it. We've seen it happen too many times. So here's the greatest lesson that came out of the COVID-19 pandemic. Be strong. Eat right. Exercise. Maintain a healthy weight. Do what you need to do to treat or manage your medical conditions. Eat right and exercise so you don't have medical conditions. So you're not on medicines, a whole host of medicines for a whole host of medical conditions. That's the greatest lesson for you all to learn from COVID-19 pandemic. Take care of your one and only body. And here's the truth. When you treat it like the billion-dollar machine that it is, it will treat you right back. It will love you back when you love your body. When you take care of your body, when you drink water and you feed it good food, you stop eating takeout, you stop eating processed food, you do the things you need to do to take good care of your body, you use natural remedies to treat some of the things, the ailments that you may have, man, your body is like a well-oiled machine. It'll last well into your 90s. There's some people 100 years old. Let me tell y'all something that happened to me today. Let me tell y'all how I got blessed today. As soon as I left that doctor's office, I just said, thank you, God. Thank you. Thank you for showing me with my own eyes, okay? God showed me this with my own eyes. Because he was like, Anita, I need to show you something. I need to give you hope in this world. And I thank him every day when things like this happen. We went to the podiatry office because my right foot has been really hurting now when I walk or try to run. My right foot has been acting up. So, and then my daughter goes to the podiatry office, you know, to have her nails clipped, to have her calluses shaved down. So we both had to go to the podiatrist. We go into the podiatry office. There is a black couple there in the waiting room. The gentleman has a walker. The lady has a cane. The lady is filling out the gentleman's paperwork. It's her husband. Y'all, we got into a conversation with them because I was just so curious. Like, they were just the cutest thing ever. So I took some pictures of them. And I took some video of them because they were just the cutest thing ever. And I got into a conversation with them, and I was like, yeah, I got to take y'all's picture because y'all are just the cutest thing ever. This woman said, now this woman had a full conversation with me, right? Her husband had on a mask. He had on a mask, and he appeared to be, you know, not as cognizant as her. This woman had a full-on, 40-minute conversation with me about life, about death, their marriage. I mean, we had a full-on conversation. I'm gonna put the picture in here. I asked this woman how long that she and her husband had been married, because somebody has been trying to, go on my videos and debunk this whole, all the people from back in the day that was married, the marriage was awful, the men were awful, and the woman was oppressed, and the only reason why she with the man is for money because she couldn't afford to live on her own. Like, them lies y'all love telling. Y'all love telling these lies. And, there ain't no good marriages from back in the day. I don't know why you say that. I asked this woman, I said, how long have you and your husband been married? She said 75 years. 75 years. I said, excuse me? I said, excuse me? She said 75 years. I was like, golly. I had never been in the presence of a couple that had been married 75 years. I think the closest was 57 years that I actually got to interact with. This woman says 75 years. When I tell y'all, that woman in her 90s, and she had a cane, but she was the cutest thing ever. I'm going to tag the picture. She looked good. Girlfriend had her hair tight. She had her outfit on. She had this gold medallion necklace. Like, she looked good. I said, you know what? I told her this too. I said, you know what? I said, baby, that's me in the future. I looked at her. I said, that's me right there in the future. That's 95-year-old Anita. Because she looked right and tight. She had her outfit. She had her little, her cute little shoes and her tights. And I mean, she looked good. She looked good, y'all. She had her hair done. She had earrings. She looked good. Her and her husband was married 75 years. So now I got to debunk this myth, right? All this mess, all these lies y'all tell, I got to debunk it. I start asking her questions about their marriage. I start asking her, well, what's the secret to a long marriage? And, what was y'all's marriage like when you was young? And, how were things? And did y'all have any issues? I started asking questions. I said, this real life history. It's like reading a history book in real life. And sure enough, this is my man. This is the only man I've ever known. This man has been so good to me and been so good to our children and our family and done this and done that. And then he chimed in. This is my woman. This is the only woman. I was like, I know that's right. But see, that's the God I serve. And so when people tell me these crazy stories, these lies, it's like, no wonder you don't meet people like them because of your bias. The fact that you're biased, the fact that you've already made up your mind that every old person that's married, they had a horrible marriage. They're oppressed in their marriage. The woman was abused in the marriage. The man was a lying dog in the marriage. The man had another woman across town and other kids in the marriage. See, that's why you don't meet people like this. See, I know better. I know that there are lots of amazing marriages. There are amazing people who are married today that have been married 50, 60 years. And now I've met a couple that's been married 75 years. So I was like, okay, I know I'm not crazy. I've told my own grandparents' story. They were my grandfather, okay, that was the only woman he had. That was the only man my grandmother had. They married. They had 10 children. My grandfather worked 3 jobs to support his wife and his children. There was no other woman at the funeral. There was no other kids at the funeral. They loved each other. We could learn something from that. But she talked about the sacrifice, the compromise, a lot of great things. I wish I had recorded the entire conversation. Because the truth is, people who don't believe that that's real, that's never going to be real to you. You're never going to meet people like that because you're looking for your bias. You're looking for people who are older and their marriage was horrible. You're looking to have your bias confirmed. But I said, thank you, Lord. That's exactly what I needed to see. That love is not canceled. People are inherently good. They want to love each other. They want to be together. They want to build something together. They want to create something together. So it's just lies. People get off. And then look, the people who be spreading the lies are in their 30s. So make that make sense. How are you 32 years old telling me what happened in 1920? Like, make that make sense. So in 1920, okay, when your great-grandparents were alive and were together, granddad was such a dog. Granddad had other kids. He had another wife across town and all this other, wherever you get this from. Unless you can talk with that couple, stop spreading lies. Stop saying that. Because I spoke with a couple today this morning that have been married for 75 years. And when I tell you that lady looked great, she was in that appointment with her husband by his side. She was filling out his paperwork. She was making sure that he could get up on his walker. She was getting him back to his appointment. Like, that's love. That's real. And what's so sad to me is some of us will never know that. There are people, modern day people right now, where you will never experience that kind of love. You will never experience that kind of loyalty, that kind of relationship. But I'm here to tell you it's real. It's real. I've met many couples. This is the first couple, though, if I'm being honest. This is the first couple that's been married 75. I can't wait to tell my mother. And look, I texted her. I said, hey, I'm going to call you when I get back from picking up Kai. I said, because I got to tell you about this couple I met. So I told her I'll call her later tonight. I can't wait. Because like I said, I was like, Ma, this woman was in her 90s. And got up, walked around, was helping her husband get up, was dressed to the nines. I mean, it was amazing. It was absolutely, it made me so proud. So proud, okay? So proud of us. So proud of our people. I mean, she looked amazing. I was like, dang, that's me right there. That's me at 95 right there. Yeah, she looked great. But she was like, yeah, there's a lot of sacrifice. There's a lot of compromise. And, you know, everything's not going to be your way. And look, when I told her, I said, well, let me tell you what's happening today, ma'am. I said, today, people are selfish. They are so selfish and self-centered and full of pride. They don't know how to love another person, you know, in a healthy, reciprocal way. Like, they're so full of pride. They're so full of selfishness. It's all about them. The only reason why they go into a marriage is to get something. Not to give, but to get. And she agreed. She's like, yeah, people are selfish. And look, she said, you know, I've lived a long time and I've seen a lot of things, and, you know, a lot of things have changed. A whole lot of things have changed, right? I said, yeah, I know that's right. But look, I said, not everything has changed for the better. She says, oh, no. She said, now don't get me wrong. You know, she said, we as Black people, we have more rights and we have more resources. We have more access. You know, she talked about that. You know, we as Black people are, you know, we have more than we've ever had. I say, yeah, but some of us are not using that to our ability. Some of us are not, you know, fully stepping into that. We're not fully stepping into our power and what we have access to. But she said, yeah, but then some of this stuff is crazy. Some of this new stuff is awful. I said, yeah. I said, there's a lot of things that have changed and not for the better. So that's what you need to know. There are older couples that have been married, that is the only man, the only woman that the other person has known. That's a thing. That's real. And they have had a blessed marriage. They have had a wonderful life together. And it's not to say it was not without challenges. It's not to say that it was not without conflict. Y'all act like, oh, it can't be nothing going wrong. It can't be no conflict, no arguments. That's just not real. That's not real. There will be conflicts. There will be challenges in every relationship. Like I said, I can barely get along with my mama. I can barely get along with my kids. I can barely get along with my dogs. There will be conflict in every relationship. Okay, so y'all want this like perfect, there's no problems, no, it don't work that way. But you have got to recognize when you have something worth saving. And a lot of people don't. They're ready to check out, they're ready to cash in their chips and walk away. And I'm like, well, and especially these pandemic people. because again, they rushed in, they chose someone for all the wrong reasons, and now they're like, well, that's that, that was fun, this person got me through the pandemic. Like, wow, that's crazy. So just know, y'all out here romanticizing, and look, a lot of people that still want to push these dating apps, right? They love these darn dating apps. Well, my friend met her husband on there, and my boy met his girl on there, and so-and-so got married on there. Okay, give it 3 to 5 years. See, that's what you ain't doing. Give it 3 to 5 years. Give it to year 7. 7 is the 7-year itch. Because y'all love to act like it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. It ain't. It ain't. It is not a healthy way to choose a partner based on a picture or 2 or 3 pictures or a paragraph of words. That's all you get. You trying to choose somebody based off of 2 or 3 pictures and a paragraph worth of words. You're not meeting them at church. You're not being introduced to them. You're not meeting them at work. You're not meeting them in your social circle or whatever, and kind of gradually getting to really know them and really see what their character is like. You got 2 or 3 pictures, some of them 1 picture. How about this? Some of the people on the dating app have 1 picture. They have the word single and nothing else. And that's who y'all choosing. Y'all choosing off of that. And so-and-so met their husband. So-and-so met their wife. Give it 3 to 5 years. If they can make it past 7 years, then I'll give them the credit they deserve. But we right at year 5. We right at year 5, and these pandemic relationships are ending. They blowing up left and right. Left and right. Okay, unfortunately, until death do us part, are fewer and far between. Yeah. She said, not the dogs too. Yeah, I struggle, man. I'm telling y'all. It's difficult. Getting along with people is difficult. It's not for the weak. So that's what I want y'all to know. And I don't know, maybe you had a pandemic relationship. I'd love to know about it. Did you meet somebody during the pandemic? What happened? Are you still with that person right now? Is the relationship good? I'm genuinely curious. Like, I'm doing research. I really want to know what happened to your pandemic relationship. Are you still in it? Did you all commit further? Did you live together? Are you married? And what's the status of your relationship now? I'm just letting y'all know a lot of these relationships, they're ending. Because like I said, I think people have finally come to terms with the world is not ending just yet. And so now they're looking around like, wait a minute, I wouldn't have picked you. I don't want to be with you forever. I thought it was until the world was ending in 2022. Nah, not yet. Not yet. So now they actually want to find somebody they're genuinely compatible with. They actually want to find somebody that they're long-term attracted to. And then look, I had a couple of women tell me, well, I took in a dude during the pandemic because he was helping with the bills. Like, I had gotten laid off and, I met this dude on an app and I took him in, basically to help me get by. There's a lot of people that did that. They took a person in or moved in with a person so they could split bills. Because they got laid off. They was getting unemployment for a period of time and then that dwindled away. But yeah, they was trying to save money during the pandemic. So again, y'all getting in these relationships for all the wrong reasons. It's not shocking when it ends to me at all. Because you're getting into it for all the wrong reasons. So yeah, I just want y'all to know that. All right, so now I got to make this members only because I done talked about the pandemic. And that's going to get everybody riled up, regardless of how you feel about it. But yeah, please take your time. I don't care what's going on in the world. None of that should change the way you vet a person. The way you vet a person is your standard. Don't ever lower your standard. Do not ever switch up your standard. That never will have good results. You will never get good consequences doing that. So what you once said, okay, no, if he's unemployed, if he's been incarcerated, if he's a smoker, if he's this, if he's that, no, I wouldn't date him. And then here come the pandemic. Here come the pandemic, and y'all out here dating jailbirds. You out here dating men who smoke marijuana, drink. You know, you out here dating men who are unemployed or underemployed. See, desperation. You've got to hold on to your standard. I made it through the pandemic by myself. Okay? Did not have no dates, did not have no relationship. I didn't start dating again until 22. Yeah, it was like the fall of 22 I started dating again. Right? Yeah, fall of 22. But yeah, 2 years where I was just chilling. I was just chilling. I'm like, y'all not pushing me into something. That ain't happening. And look, and it was a lot of men out there too. They was trying. Look, I had all my exes. All my exes was like, what you doing? We should get back together. No, thank you. And look, a lot of y'all did that. A lot of y'all went back to your exes. You let your ex move in. You quarantine with your exes. There was a whole lot of foolishness going on there. Because y'all thought the world was ending. You really did. You thought this was it. I better take what I can get. I don't want to be alone. I can't stand being by myself. I don't want to be by myself. So let me take whatever I can get. And look, you done woke up and it's 2025 and we still here. Still here, still alive, still kicking. COVID is still a thing. And people are not dropping down dead every month. Those numbers that they were reporting during the pandemic, not even close. Because like I said, it's called natural selection. It's called, only the strong are going to survive. That's what happened. And here we are. Here we are. So don't lower your vetting standard for anybody, for anything. There's some women out there that talk a good game until they meet a man that's 6'4", or talk a good game until they meet a man that's cute or smell good or got a good mouth game. Now all of a sudden, the fact that he ain't got no car and ain't got no house and don't have no regular place to live, don't have no job. And look, the worst thing a man could ever say to me, and it's a lot of things, it's a whole lot of things. Let me tell you some of the worst things he could ever say to me. And I hear men say this. I hear men say this and I just shake my head. Like, man, you don't know who you're talking to. Well, I'm in between jobs. I'm in between gigs. Nah, I'm good. I'm helping my mom out. I'm helping my grandmother out. I'm looking after my mom or my grandma. No, I'm good. Okay? Or this is another one. I got 2 kids by my ex, but she won't let me see the kids. She don't let me visit my kids. She don't let me talk to my kids. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. We straight. Or, my car is in the shop and I don't really have the funds to get it out right now. Okay? Or I broke up with my fiance. My fiance and I broke up 3 months ago, but we still under a lease together. I'm still there, sleeping in a separate room because we under a lease together. Yeah, I'm good. Like, there is a whole litany of phrases that if that come out of a man's mouth, we good. I'm good. So just understand, do not lower your standard. That's what people did, and now it's all coming back. You accepted a whole bunch of stuff you should have never accepted under the guise of you were dying or the whole world was coming to an end. And now that you see it's not, now we in trouble. Okay? She said carbon in the shop since 98. Yeah, no. Don't fall for it. I'm just saying. There's certain phrases that when I hear it come out of a man's mouth, I go, BS. My BS meter has gone off. I'm good. I'm good. And then look, they have the audacity to say, why y'all gotta judge? Why y'all gotta prejudge? Right? That's another phrase. I'm looking for a woman that's open-minded and don't prejudge. Okay. I tried to date a couple of years ago. I was so turned off when he told me to call him on FaceTime audio because his phone was off and he lived with his mom. Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good. You should have blocked him and that would have been that. So that's it. That's all. All right, y'all. I'm headed into Charlottesville. I'm about 10 minutes out. I'm going to go and get my daughter. I just wanted to let y'all know what's happening in the space. Pandemic relationships ain't making it. And again, all y'all that keep saying how great dating apps are, like I said, them relationships is blowing up left and right. So I don't know. The math ain't mathing. But have a great evening. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate y'all keeping me company on my ride. Have a great night. Remember, school is in session. You can find out all about it in the link below. You can also find out about our Costa Rica trip in December if you want to go to Costa Rica. Okay? All right. Have a great night. Thank you so much for joining. And as always, stay open to love.